I tried to 100% Hollow Knight silksong without using the wiki. So no spoiling myself about any secrets until I found them all. Also, this is my third video on this playthrough, so if you want to know what happened up to this point, go and watch the first two. But I'll be honest, when you spend 3 months making silksong videos, it's kinda hard to completely avoid spoilers, and when I defeated Grandmommy Silk, I already knew there was an Act 3. So when I found myself back in the main menu, with my save file reset to before the fight, I was a little confused. Wait, what? Is Chapter 3 secret? Let's real quick find every secret in the game. And so I started my search for the secret third chapter. My first stop was Mount Faye, an area only accessible with the newly acquired hookshot ability. The whole thing was basically just one big parkour challenge. And while the cold mechanic, which basically just puts you on a timer, did make it pretty difficult, it's not the path of pain, so it was a walk in the park. If the park was located in Siberia, and the floor was replaced with spikes, and there were laser shooting robots. Anyway, we got a double jump now. There's slopes in silksong. That's why it took them so long. And with that, a great many new possibilities opened up. Since I was clearly still missing a big chunk of its map, I headed for Bywater first. Before this little expedition, the area was already a strong contestant for my least favorite place ever. And yet I was nowhere near prepared for the insane amount of bullshit this game was about to throw at me. You see, Bywater is a truly misleading name, because the water in this place isn't actually bile, but liquefied AIDS. And it is everywhere, sometimes unavoidable. The bench is a lie? What the f- The other bench is a secret, and also requires you to embrace the HIV Who made this script? And also requires you to embrace the HIV maggot cocktail every time you die. Speaking of death, that was the one thing which, in stark contrast to my mental sanity, I had insufficient supplies. What is this dumb Because at the very end of the area awaits a 5-wave enemy gauntlet, and if you manage to beat that, there is a fucking boss fight waiting for you. Aw, you died, how sad. Now you gotta walk all the way back, dodge some traps, do some parkour, fight all the waves again, which by the way takes about 5 minutes to do just to get another try at the boss. What the? Wait. What the? Oh, okay. Probably that is not a good idea. Very cool, thank you. That was the least satisfying kill I've ever had. That's what you fucking deserve. And now imagine I hadn't found this bench, and I had to literally cross the entire area just to try the boss. I'm starting to understand how some people might get frustrated with this game, but obviously that's not me. I don't have a skill issue. Anyway, moving on, we board this dead guy's soul. And got a peek at a new area with these thingies from Half-Life. What the? This is like a Deep Nest equivalent? Would be funny, I'd be down for another Deep Nest. What the fuck is this? In said area, we found a prison key, and a huntress who asked me if I could spare some shredded organs. Which of course I can. Sharing is caring, after all. With keys in hand, and eager to recreate the Impel Down incident, we paid a visit to the slab. Locked away inside the prison's walls was a big cage. And I mean, there's no harm in breaking random people out of cells. What could possibly go wrong? Uh-huh. After the necessary amount of convincing, the prisoner offered us a new ability. Which looks cool, but isn't really practical, unless you like gambling. And it's also not like free, so we'll have to try something else. During my quest in the Citadel, I had met this old bug who wanted 5 different ingredients for a dish. I had already obtained one after taking care of an ant infestation. It seemed like a major thing, so I set my eyes on that next. Mossberries, do I probably have to talk to the alchemist for that? Korea's Rasher? Korea quests? Crust Nut? No idea. Because Muck Maggot is very likely to be someone by water. There was also new placements in this road now available to us, which was a mini-boss that took me more attempts than it should have. And also this happened. What's that? Was that a glitch? Yeah, that's definitely a glitch. It's not supposed to happen. What? What the What? Okay, I fixed her apparently. Pick up Muck Maggot. Hey! That was what I was looking for. We got the Mossberries too for free by talking to my favorite sex offender, leaving only Crustnut and the Korea's Rasher, which you also get for free in Bellhard. Except you have to deliver it on a timer that gets reduced when you get hit, and you're not allowed to fast travel, and it's a pretty long way up. I didn't get it first try, and I instantly got sidetracked. I don't know what's over here. We took an elevator down into the White Ward, an area that looks like a medical facility or a torture chamber or something, with creepy bugs that have fingers. There was nothing important there except for an ornate lock, which I couldn't open yet. With the food quest now lost far in the back of my mind, I did some side quests and found another ability in the wormways. Seems more useful than the runes, but I can't replace my beloved Perry. We also got our own little home in Bellhard, which is just super sweet. Now that we have the double jump, we can finally make this jump without any complications. It led to a new area, the Memoriam, a big terrarium containing bugs from all over Falun. Which is weird considering everyone here is a bug, but I'm not judging. Mom, can we have a Falun? No, we literally already have a Falun at home. For another hole in the ceiling, we got onto the balcony. And now please bear with me for a second. I thought that dropping down there would just lead back to the town below. And so my natural first instinct was to go as high up as possible and then use the hook claw to see if there was something to the right. Which there was. And I thought I had found some kind of super secret hidden area. Oh my god, I'm a fucking genius. But turns out, there was a giant bridge there all along. Oh. Oh. That was not at all necessary. Super duper secret or not, it's a new area nonetheless. And because it definitely hasn't seen enough usage already, this area too has to buy a water gimmick. What fun. Is that Chakra's master? Nope, it's a flea. Speaking of fleas, we somehow found a big empty cave with a beautiful lake in this area and convinced the flea master to move there. Since there didn't seem to be much more to get, we went back to the Memoriam, where we found another big flea. There were also 2 mini areas I had never seen before, and since this place represents Falun, there had to be more undiscovered areas out there. I concluded that one of these areas had to be between the Placid Steps and the slab. And after checking every potential place you could possibly enter from, we eventually found it in the Placid Steps. This place is like 80% parkour, which I struggled way too much with, considering it can be accessed before getting the double jump. At the end of the area was an angry conch waiting for us. Let's just say we have history. Anyway, we found the last ingredient for our dish. Bro, I traveled the entire damn region looking for these ingredients, and this thing eats them in like 10 seconds. Which, I guess that's just how food works. But still. For our efforts, we got a needle upgrade. That's cool, but where's Act 3? That quest was my best bet. Oh hey, Chakra found her master. Oh, she's dead. And that was the point where I started getting a little desperate. We explored the deep docks, fought a mini-boss, and found a big bell. We checked every spot I could think of where we hadn't been yet. We did all the unique delivery quests, we consulted wise NPCs for advice, I was completely confused by this one ledge which seemed to have no purpose. We fulfilled all kinds of wishes, and made a shocking realization. Shermer is a dude? What do you mean? It's a fanboy, let's go. We got a cute little hornet statue, we got attacked by the sentinel we let loose, I killed Grandmommy Silk again out of frustration, we bought information on the last 2 fleas we were missing, but we couldn't find the one in Farfields. I almost lost my mind trying to figure out what this room is for. We had some sparring matches against Chakra. I remembered there was still a place in the Whispering Walls I hadn't been, where we found a baby? Which ended up starting a whole new questline where Hornet got impregnated by a tree root and got her insides rearranged by a very trustworthy surgeon. All for a new crest. Not Act 3. And then, was stopping by in Belhart to do the Pilgrim's Rest delivery quest for the 4th time. In hopes they would open the gate to the last flea, on the quest board there was a message from the caretaker of Songclave. He wants to set a trap for the monarch of Falum, and all we have to do is collect the materials from his fellow family members. This is it! I have no idea what triggered that quest, but this has got to be it. And with the trap set in place, there's only one more enemy standing between us and our long-awaited bonus content.
Okay, Master. Let's kill the whole beach!
Okay, so turns out, the caretaker and his family did a little bit of trolling, and thought it would be funny to throw all of Falum into utter chaos. And now the monarch, who was connected to every part of Falum through her strings, got consumed by the Void, which now has access to those strings, and takes over anything it touches, making the kingdom collapse and killing or consuming most of its residents. Which, I gotta admit, that's pretty funny. However, Hornet thinks otherwise, and she wants to use the big bell we found to dive into the abyss, and I don't know, beat up the all-consuming darkness or something? We first have to get there though, and since fast travel has been blocked off, we have to fight our way back to get to our trusty Bell Beast. Most enemies have now been consumed by the Void, making them deal more damage, have more health, and an extra Void attack, and if you get hit, you'll lose some silk. Occasionally, they will also just yank together into a Void bundle, which inflicts all other enemies with Void too. Back at the Bell Station, we made sure our little friend was okay and... seems she's not okay. Ouch. Oh. Shit. Yo! Yo! Bell Beast! Belvies, I love you. Alright, as it turns out, Belbeast has kids. And with their help, we can now return back to the Bell Station from anywhere in Falun. Finally proper fast travel. Now let's check up on the rest of Falun. Bellheart is under siege by the Void, with Chakra acting as its only protector. Holy shit! Chakra is cooking. Bone Bottom is completely fucked, and a few survivors are now hiding out where the fleas used to be. The Plasmium Doctor from the Worm Waste got really hooked on his Plasmium, in the name of science of course, and let it spread across the entire area, making everything be very healthy, only in the most literal sense of the word. The stuff is so strong that it straight up revived the guy, though he is still kind of dead on the inside, and now the outside too. Well, they can all thank us later. For now, we gotta get to the bottom of this. And by this, I mean the kingdom. With the help of a random guy we picked up and a 1000-year-old diving bell. Unsurprisingly, it didn't go well. But Hornet is just like, no worries mate, I'll find another way back up. Like she didn't just crash in the deepest darkest place on the planet. The enemies here are quite annoying. One of them can even suck off Hornet so hard she turns invisible. Wait, that's really cool. There's a big lake made of void at the end of the area, and apparently that's where Grandma Silk is currently hanging out. Lace is down there too. Ignore the one sitting right here. One is just a little schizophrenic. There also just happened to be a dead Weaver hanging around here, who also just so happened to give us the exact ability we need to get out of this place. Back in Farlung, Hornet has another meetup with the Snail Gang to devise a plan to save the kingdom they just doomed. So basically, to get rid of all the black strings, we gotta make the monarch not be alive anymore. But we can't get through the big void lake without getting ripped into teeny tiny little pieces. Except Hornet remembers that there's a flower that can repel the void. So the obvious solution here is to kill all the major powers in Falun and sacrifice their hearts in ritual to materialize the flower by directly extracting it from Hornet's memories. Problem is, most of the people we need the hearts from are already dead. So the snails teach us a melody that can revive them. So that, you know, we can kill them again. We technically only need 3 hearts, but while we're at it, we might as well kill them all. By the way, I think Crust King Khan is the first boss I first tried since Moss Mother. Alright, we've got enough hearts. Now the shamans can send us to Flashback City. All of this is probably very important if you try to understand the silksong lore, but I'm too stupid for that anyway. So just give us the flower, and I'll watch the Mossback video once I have 100%. I gotta say, the flower does its job pretty well. The Sea of Eternal Darkness just doubles as a swimming pool now. But before we finish the game, I'd like to check a few more things off of our epic silksong to-do list. We finally found the last flea through a hidden path in the Farfield spell station. Oh my god, no idea how I never noticed that. And while claiming our reward in Fleetopia, we also discovered a very familiar looking poem. For those who don't know, in the first Hollow Knight, you could find a tablet with a poem hinting at different locations, where you would then find the Mr. Mushroom NPC. And talking to him in all locations will unlock an extra ending. Apparently the quest was so good that Team Cherry decided to add the exact same quest line into silksong as well. And even though I already knew how the quest worked, I still struggled far more than necessary because I somehow didn't see the first line of the poem. I wanna see if... Huh? Okay. Over camp, collapse to the black thread. Does this look like over to you? Or what camp are you talking about? Is Weaveness a camp? Is Moss Grotto a camp? Huh? Let's get to it now. Or shall we do the Herald first? Because I'm pretty sure I know the rest of them. I thought I know them, but since this was so very inaccurate, maybe the rest are too. Of a camp collapsed to the... Are you kidding me? Did I just not see that? I thought that was the description or something. It also involved backtracking all the way up to the GMS boss arena, where we found another silk skill, and then even higher up, through a pretty difficult parkour section, still easier than Path of Pain, to what is probably the surface, where we also found a memento. And yeah, it's literally called the surface memento, so that's the surface. The Flea Master invited us to celebrate the end of the kingdom together, and oh my god, I loved everything about this festival. The fleas are just so cute, and they were wearing like little bells as helmets. And there are so many silly little details. Honestly, that event alone made my entire week. Oh, and we also got another pale oil, so Hornet's Needle is maxed now. We found the last crest we were missing, which reminded me to check by Eva again, who evolved our Hunter's Crest. Again. We also acquired another memento by beating a professional racist in his own race. Anyway, that's most of the stuff I could find without much effort. We're still missing a few things, and there's still a lock in the whiteboard, in the target room in the Farfields, but for now, let's just beat the game. So, turns out we're actually fighting Lace, which is a little weird, considering there are already two other versions of that fight. And fighting Lace for the third time as the true final boss seems a bit anticlimactic, but doesn't matter. It's a fun and challenging fight, though I did already do a cool montage of the Lace 2 fight, so I'll spare you from another one. Epic plot twist, we get rescued by the knight. Monarch's dead, Lace is alive, kingdom is saved. Now let me see my completion. We can do better than that. There were still a few wishes to fulfill and items to buy. We found a few more secrets along the way, and after buying the last item from the shop, and 64 hours into the playthrough, we were sitting at a nice and comfy 96%. Now surely the last 4% won't take too much longer, right? I guess this is a good time to address the elephant in the room. While we've already collected all spool fragments, and are only missing one more masterpiece and tool, we're also still missing a silk card. There are only 3 silk cards in the game, and we got both other silk cards simply by progressing the story. So the fact that there is still one missing,
kind of a big deal.
I was already pretty certain that it would be located in the whiteboard, because there's a big room with a mysterious locked trapdoor, and it was the only place I knew of that looked important enough for a silk card. The only problem? I had no idea where to find the key. I'd already searched the whiteboard itself multiple times, and since I couldn't find it, my theory was that similar to the love key in Hollow Knight, the key would be hidden somewhere far away from the lock. And basically any area in the game could have some random hole in the ceiling that I forgot about because I didn't know we'd eventually get the silksong ability. There's really only one thing we can do here, and that's to go through every area in the game to check if I missed anything. And sure enough, I eventually found something. A small mini-boss room in the clockworks. Sadly, there was an incident. Right, let's see what they drop. Please let it be the key. Please let it... Where did it go? Oh. Wait, what? No, no. Did that break it? Please. Maybe got into my inventory? Luckily, the game creates save files from time to time that you can reset your game to. Not so luckily, the last save was made after obtaining the Everbloom. That was before I even beat the game. So in order to not lose 4 hours of progress, I decided to duplicate the save file first and check what the item was. And it was... 220 shell shards. Back to searching. 2 weirdly placed ledges at the Coral Tower and above Bone Bottom have been on my radar for quite some time now. And they really look like they're used for some kind of shortcut that opens from the other side. Except, I've tried everything to find these secrets, and at this point, I'm convinced Team Cherry just put them there to mess with their players. Since I didn't want to run around completely aimlessly, I started completing all the kill requirements for the Hunter's Journal. I was kind of worried about the Rhino Beetle entry, since I needed one more kill on it, and there had been one in Far Fields in the Secret Passage, which I only found after entering Act 3, at which point it was killed by Black Strings. So I was scared you would have to find the secret before Act 3 in order to complete the journal entry, but my worries were unwarranted, since we eventually found another one in Far Fields. Also, Eva gave her consent to getting tied up, so we can now regenerate silk by resting on benches, if that makes sense. And then, I had a genius idea. If 1/3 of all players have this achievement, not everyone looks in the wiki, right? It's gotta be at least a little obvious. And so my guess right now is that it's just a delivery quest. Yes, what a great idea! Let's delivery quest till the end of time, why don't we? I even brought one to the end in the target room, and I'm sure it's just hungry.
Nope.
Seriously though, finding that Rhino Beetle was a wake-up call for me, since I had been 99% sure I had already checked that spot. The issue at this point was that since the gameplay loop looked like this, I became less and less motivated to actually play the game. So I'd end up not playing for weeks, and when I'd come back, I wouldn't probably remember which parts of the map we'd already checked. So, is this it? Am I cursed to run through Fallen aimlessly until Sea of Sorrow releases? Will we reach 100% by getting some extra percentages from the DLC? After overcoming so many hardships, will I have to cower in shame as the one who couldn't even complete his own challenge? Will I have to give up? with only 2% remaining? Maybe I should just drop silksong and focus on my personal life. I could click some golden cookies in Cookie Clicker. Or pet my virtual girlfriend. Now that I think about it, I haven't fed my pet lizard in at least 9 months. And I still haven't finished the Terraria video I started working on over a year ago. Yeah, that doesn't sound so bad. I think it's finally time to move on. Bullshit! I refuse to give up. Even if it means not uploading for another year, I will never give up. I bet my lizard can last another 10 months. He would surely understand. This cannot be the end. I will succeed no matter the cost. And if I have to neglect my girlfriend in order to reach my goals, so be it. So in order to finally finish this challenge once and for all, I decide to go through every area in the game, room after room, hitting every wall and ceiling, playing the needle in anywhere that seems somewhat important, and keep all the areas I fully cleared in a TXT. This way, there's no way we can miss the secret. Oh, and remember how I'm specifically looking for a key for the white ward? Try guessing how many areas I cleared this way before searching the white ward. This part is exactly as entertaining as it sounds. So here are the highlights and the times we actually found something. Is Hornet even able to use headrests? Because Red is kind of bent backwards, right? Maybe understanding what this thing is will help me? She always nods her head forward. She can't lie back. Okay then, let's seriously compare what the difference is. What do you think are the odds that there's a lock-picking mechanic if you use one of the pins? The seat is just folded. If the seat is folded, then it's folded forward, because the bottom side of the seat is golden, it's not flush. Maybe I should read the description of every item and see if it has any hints. Since when is that doable? What? Since when can you go through loading zones? What? I thought it didn't work. Now why would you want flush on the front? The person that would have to be standing, but the thing that I presume is for the head is behind. Like, far enough behind that if you stand in front of this thing, you wouldn't be able to lean your head on it. Am I overthinking this? My theory that I just came up with, maybe it's the maggots in the bio-liquid, you know? Like, my first thought would be that it's just for a bigger individual, like your mom. It doesn't work. Her horns would slightly touch the bench. So wouldn't benches just be really uncomfortable for her? Snitch pig? That would be so funny if that worked. Maybe you can kill them, like you can with Last Step Sneeze, and try it out. Just equip this right here and head over there. Yeah, that's not doing shit. This thingy on top of the chair, or whatever it is. Kinda looks like the Soul Tyrant face. I'm not sure if I've ever talked to the mask maker with the ant mask on. Hey, what's up? I have a cool mask, isn't that cool? Damn, Nyra is big as fuck. What? Huh? Are you seriously telling me I haven't found that? Or was it here? I don't remember. Probably a key. What the fu- What? What? What's changed? I've been here before! After defeating the boss in Act 3. What has changed? What's up? What? How did I never see that? What? Here we go. Yes! And finally, at 99% completion, the only things that remain are the whiteboard and the target room. Which now that I think about it, I haven't even explained yet. So basically, there's a room in Farfields that, after entering Act 3, has 4 targets hanging from the ceiling. Whenever you enter the room, there's also an ant that instantly digs into the ground the moment it sees you. Clearly there's something to this room, and somewhere along the way I managed to gaslight myself into genuinely believing that this ant is the solution to the whiteboard. I mean, there's only 1% remaining, they have to be connected. And of all the things that cost me the most of my mental sanity during this challenge, this room might just take the #1 spot. We tried catching the ant, we tried sneaking up on the ant, we tried hitting the ant, we tried shooting the ant, we tried confusing the ant by running backwards, we tried playing the ant a nice song, we tried dressing up as a fellow ant, we tried hitting the targets, we tried poling the targets, we tried hitting the targets with different tools, we tried hitting all the targets with one tool use, we tried using the tool we got from another ant that has the perfect flight path to hit all 4 targets from the front with one use. Nah, just kidding, we didn't actually try that. We tried shooting money at the target, we tried shooting money at the ant, we tried soaring into the target, we tried using all the tools again, except this time with the quick sling equipped. Wait, that boomerang has a really curious flight pattern, but there is no way we haven't tried that yet, right? Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't even hit all of them. What was that? Yes, take it. I don't give a fuck. As a reward, we got an upgraded version of the boomerang. Also, yeah, this was pretty obvious. I just suck. Now, there's only one more possible solution to getting the key. We have to bring a worthy specimen to the Great Yarnaby. Let's just cut to the point where we check the whiteboard again. No way. No way. How? Let this be fucking it. Police. Yes! Yes! How was that about me saying it's not in the whiteboard? We've done it. We've done it. It wasn't the whiteboard all along. And it was such an obvious secret. Are you kidding me? How did I not check? You don't even need the double jump for that. What's become of me? The light is shining through there. How? How did I not find this? It is so obvious. I can't. Holy shit, I can't. We're done it. We're done. It's over. Yes. Use the damn thing. And with this, we've actually done it. We've acquired all silk hearts and reached 100% completion without using the wiki even once. Or at least it says 100%, but there's still stuff on our epic silksong to-do list, so let's do those real quick. We found our last journal entry in Bywater. I could have sworn I tried that before though. And got a memento in return. Leaving only one more, which we acquired by beating the Seth guy's score in all the flea games. That almost took 2 hours. This guy's insane. Which is when I decided to watch the Mossback video. I mean, at this point, with the exception of one rune harp, there isn't exactly much we could get spoiled about, am I right?
The only thing left the Weavers could do was flee. In Weaveness Syndrome in Farfields, hidden in a secret room, Hornet can find a map depicting pathways out of Farloom. The nearby rune harp reads,
Well, that was stupid. I know, this is a little anticlimactic. I mean, we did reach 100% without the wiki, but this definitely goes against the spirit of the challenge. You can decide for yourself whether that counts or not. Personally, I'm just glad this is over. The final time is 89 hours and 34 minutes. And man, Silksong is such a fun game. I love the music, I love the art style, I love the combat, and above all, I love all the meaningful secrets this game has. I just love it when a game rewards you for trying something that most other players wouldn't. That moment when I first started the game, after waiting for hours for the Steam servers to calm down again, because everyone wanted to play Silksong, I had such high expectations, and Silksong just met them so easily like no other game before could. When I got hit with a secret within a secret, within a minute of starting the game, in that moment, I fell in love with this game. That's when I knew I had to do this challenge. But these last 25 hours, if I said it was fun looking for the last 2%, I would definitely be lying. I guess something like a post-place device showing which areas still have stuff to find would have been nice. But then again, that would just cause people to never revisit areas when there might still be meaningful NPC interactions or environmental changes. In the end, there was no secret that was truly too hard to find. I just missed a few simple things and then started overthinking it. And that's not the game's fault. Except for that one wall in Greymore. I swear, had I not hit that by accident, I would have never found this shortcut. I'm not done playing this game just yet. There's still a bunch of achievements to get, but I highly doubt I'll make another video on it. I already covered everything I wanted to cover, and I honestly really like how these videos turned out. Alright, I'll stop talking now. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you probably very soon because the next video will be short, I promise, okay? Bye!